Hello, my name is Jody Jaques, and I'm the owner of Jaques Art Studio, and I'm the art teacher at Capital Day School. And today I'm going to be teaching you a lower elementary school lesson with weaving. So, first of all, weaving has been done for thousands of years. From the time that man had figured out how to make a string out of something, they figured out how to interweave those together and make things like a basket, that's weaving, or your clothing. Generally, in my room, I teach students about Native American weaving, and I teach students about kente cloth, which is a weaving style from Africa. So those would be two kinds of weaving that you could look up today: Native American weaving and kente cloth weaving from Africa. I will make a blog and put those links for you in my blog. Now, for today, I do want you to learn a couple of terms. And my goal for this overall unit is just for you to understand how weaving works and how you can take strips and you can actually weave them into a solid piece of something. So we're going to work with paper because that's easier. My upper elementary school lesson is actually going to be weaving on a loom. So if you want something a little bit harder than this, you can go up to the weaving in the upper elementary section. So for today, our vocabulary is warp, which is going to be what is there. It's the strings that you have there all of the time. The weft is what you're going to be weaving in. It's called weft. And then the loom is what you are weaving on. So there are different kinds of looms. We are going to make a paper loom today, but there are also looms. If you live in Frankfurt, you may have been to the Woolery and seen a loom, or you may have been to a museum and seen one of those big weaving looms. This is a loom that I purchased for students. This is in my upper elementary unit, but you can easily make this out of cardboard. For this loom today, if you have ordered a kit from me, I've sent one that I've already cut. If I sent you home one from school, you have one or a few in there that are already cut, but I'm going to show you how to make these paper looms. I really like making them this way rather than just weaving strips. It's just a little bit easier. So what you would do is you're going to take your paper and fold it in half the long ways. So this is what I now have. I have cut this long ways. This is how people make a mistake. So what I don't want you to do is I don't want you cutting the open end. You have to cut on this end down here. And I generally tell you to cut about a finger's length apart. So let me show you one. So I'm gonna cut right here. I'm gonna cut up to the top, but I am not going to cut this piece off of here. You want to have these little top sections because that will kind of hold all of your strips in there. So I'm gonna do another one. It's about a finger length apart. I'm gonna cut here. And I'm not going to cut too far up at the top because you will cut your loom apart. It's not a big deal. You could either just have a smaller loom or you could just get another piece of paper. All right, so let's finish this up. There are no tears in my art lessons, by the way. So sometimes you're just bad at stuff, and in order to get better at it, you just have to do it again. So it's okay if you make mistakes. You're just gonna get another piece of paper out and you're gonna try again. You can always pause this video. That's very nice. You don't even have to raise your hand to pause it. Just put your finger on there and pause it for yourself. So this is what I have. So this is going to be our loom, and then this is going to be our weft, and you have just made your warp pieces right here. So I'm going to put this on the table and let you all look. I'm going to do a close-up of this. Your mantra when you do weaving is under, over, under, over, under, over. it has to go under over that way, and it has to go under over this way. So let's put our first strip in. You don't have to start right at the top. You can start more towards the middle. So I'm going over this one, under this one. You have to lift it up a little. Over this one, under this one. Over this one, under this one. Over this one, under this one. And then over again. And what you want to do is take these pieces and push them up to the top. Now what I want to do now is show you mistakes that can be made and how to fix those. The great thing about this is we're not even gluing these in. You can just pull them right out. Right, so I'm usually going to work with these. They're a little bit bigger. So sometimes people go like this and they won't get all of their pieces in there. They are a little bit in a hurry. They don't really necessarily want to do this project. This project is good for you in so many ways. It is going to help you with your motor skills. It's going to help you understand the whole process of weaving. You could even go weave things yourself. Weaving is something that people commonly do when they're putting things together. So what's wrong with this one? Is it over, under, over, under, over, under? No, it is not. It's over, over, under, over, under, under, over, under. That is not our mantra. Over, under, over, under. The easy way to fix this is just to pull it out. So that's the number one problem I have. So let me put one in here the right way. Under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay, so this one's put in here right. I'm gonna push it up towards the top. They don't all have to be the same. Then I'm gonna do my next one. I'm gonna show you the right way. Okay, so that's under, so this one has to be over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, this is what you should get. So that's over, under. That is making a weaving. Look at me. It's not so easy the first times you do this. You are going to mess up. That is totally fine. The way that you're going to figure this out is by making mistakes, and you're going to keep trying this. You may have to get an adult or an older sibling to kind of help you out with this a little bit, but you are eventually going to figure out how to do this. So you might have to have the adult actually do it for you if you can't figure it out, but at least you're looking at it and you're figuring out how that's working in your brain, and then next year as your motor skills catch up, you'll be there and you'll already understand it in your brain, and your fingers are going to be able to do that for you. So please don't be frustrated. If you can't make this work, I don't care. Miss Jaques just wants you trying this out. I want you kind of thinking about things. I want you learning about things. And if you don't get it this year, you will get it next year. But if I don't ever teach it to you, you may never get it. So that's why we are working on this today. So this is what this should look like. Let's say, I'm going to show you what happens when it's wrong. And this happens a lot. Some people do the over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. That seems good, right? It's under, over, but watch this. What's wrong? You are right. I went under, over this way, but I didn't go over and under this way. This first one should start underneath. So let's do that. Let's go under, over, or over. Okay. So this is what this should look like, and you're going to go all the way through. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on fast mode. I'm going to finish this up and then show you how these would be finished. All right, so as you get to the bottom, this is where it gets a little bit trickier. And you want to find a strip. I think my strip needs to be one of the thicker strips because I'm not going to be able to put another one down there. So I'm going to start with this last one, and these ones are just a little bit trickier. You have to use those little motor skills. You have to really pull that through and push that up. So this would be finished. If you wanted, you could put a little dot of glue underneath every one of these, and you could push that down, or a little glue stick would work too. So you would just simply put your little bit of glue here, just a little dot. And then you do the same thing to the other side. My goal for this lesson is for you all to be weaving, is for you all to understand the art of how you weave. If you were an older student, you actually got a bigger piece of paper, and you would simply do the same thing. You're gonna fold that, and where are you gonna cut? On the open end? No, not on the open end. On the folded end. Do you cut the whole strip off? No, you got to stop up at the top. So you just cut from the bottom up. So if you have figured out how to do this, I would love if you send me a picture at Jaques Art Studio. If you're one of my CDS students, have your parents email me a picture of you finishing up this project. I would love to see it. So put these up in the window if you get done. I've given you some really lovely colors, and let me know if you have any questions. You guys have a great day. Go create.